Good afternoon, everybody. I'll skip the obvious, do you see the screen and do you hear me? Because, well, you see two screens, obviously, and I think you're hearing me just fine. Well, my name is David, and since I say there is no I in IIoT, we, as a team, take care of sales of our IIoT applications within Europe, Middle East, Africa, and India. You might ask, well, who's WIKA? What are we doing here on stage? Well, and since 1946, we are known and have been known to be a producer of those guys here. Do you see them in the back? It's rather small. We have them bigger. This is like half a kilo of a stainless steel pressure gauge. We have them bigger, but then I get troubles with my suitcase, so I usually do not take the bigger ones. Well, and we sat together a couple of years ago and we thought, hey, what should we do differently? What should we do differently? And what we came up with is this little short thing at the back of the gauge. And this changed everything for us. That means we made the gauge smart and we made it connectable. And this entirely changed the way we talk to our customers. Because now when we have customer meetings, and I'll talk you through one of those, we start with three very, very general questions. How effectively do you use your data? How sustainable are your processes? And how safe are them? Well, the derivatives of these questions and the discussions that follow up later on lead us to identify the right solutions for our customers to make their lives a little bit easier. I always say there's abundance of data already. And we are also one of the guilty ones, because since 1946 we have produced and thrown out into the market almost 1 billion of measuring points. We measure temperature, pressure, flow, level, force, lately vibration, ultrasound. And a big portion of that, our annual production is somewhere between 55 and 60 million units. A big portion of that we want to digitize, and we are already digitizing right now. We are coming from the process industry. Oil, gas, chemical, petrochemical. That's our home turf. That's what we know about. I mean, for these applications and for these customers of ours, we need certificates. We need ATEX and non-ATEX solutions, and we have them available. But we also cannot just stick with the sensing part, even though we come from the sensing world. That means we had to really build up an end-to-end solution. We had to provide the connectivity, the cloud, and the platform and the visualization on top of our sensing elements. When we talk to our customers, or existing customers, we always have to start with this slide right here. We have to tell them, hey, we are not touching your PLCs, your DCSs. We are not gonna take away what you've connected right now into your SCADA systems. Do not be afraid. That happens. The decisions made over there are happening within milliseconds. We do not want to go there. We are taking an alternative. We are providing additional data with analysis on top to make your processes smarter, better, more efficient. As many before of us, we recognized that we cannot do that alone. That means we entered into strategic partnerships. We take care of the devices. The connectivity part is taken care of by our partner company, LoRaWAN, Swiss-based. And for the platform and for the application layer, we have a very, very good cooperation with Software AG. And only by having these three components all together, we can really offer the end-to-end solution to our customers. This is how our daily lives look like right now. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still. Instead of talking you through this picture right here, and you can see there's a lot of sensing opportunities already, I'll tell you a story of me being in Italy last week. The gentleman before me on the panel before lunch was also from the same area of Puglia. And well, we were talking to one of those operators. We were not the only ones there. There was the G7 summit, which made our lives a little bit harder. We actually applied for a speaking slot, but I mean, me being Czech and LoRaWAN being the colleague that was with me being Swiss, we were not admitted. Maybe next time, so I'm very, very lucky to be able to talk here. But we were sitting in a very, very nice, climatized, air-conditioned room, and I looked out of the window, and on the other side of the street, I saw a pressure gauge somewhere in the asset, like second floor, high up. It was a pressure gauge just like that, standing there alone, and you start to ask questions. I mean, what is it for? What does it measure? Why do you have it? Who goes there? What do you do when you take the reading of the pressure gauge? And by applying these questions over and over again and discovering that the reading is needed, and we discovered that it does make sense to digitize it eventually. So this particular plant that we visited will deploy a network management server and will start connecting pressure gauges all along. So this is the process industry. But this recent change of ours also opened new markets that we have not entered before. And our silo manager is a good example of that. So we entered into the agricultural industry as well. You see, farmers, lots of them nowadays, well, they guess how much feed they have in their feed bins, in their silos. And by doing that, and by, well, not being precise about it, this leads to rush orders, to non-structured orders, to a decrease in customer loyalty because the farmer might not purchase the feed exactly at the same place all the time. Well, and this is actually the questions we addressed, and this is the pains and the challenges that the customers of ours are facing. Well, when you put it all together and when you calculate through, we claim that through implementing a strain gauge technology to analyze how much feed actually is in the feed bins, we can optimize routing of trucks delivering the feed to the farmers, and that overall leads to a roughly 26% decrease in carbon emissions, and it also saves around about 38% of operational costs for the feed suppliers. Well, obviously, it's all supported by a state-of-the-art dashboard developed together with our customers, so the KPIs that he sees on there are just the ones that he wants to see. So it's not an out-of-the-box solution, it's a many, many months investment and design. I'd like to focus your attention on, well, the last panel discussion, I believe it is, today, because there it's about smart farming, smart agriculture, and we will go deeper into that particular solution in that discussion over there. So that's us. That's how we got from a measured value to an added value. So thank you very much.